I'm back on the Razors SLs, and if you want to know why, I guess stick around. Welcome back. So it's definitely been a minute. How's everyone doing? Hope you all are well. Hope you're still shredding. So, a couple of months ago, me and some of the New Zealand lads went on a trip to the US, California, San Fran, LA, and then Santa Ana for Spring Cup. It was awesome. Awesome trip. Amazing. The experience was amazing. It was really awesome to hang out with all the boys. Never really been on a boys trip for that period of time, let alone a skate trip altogether. It's like I missed out on when I was younger. So definitely I can tick off the bucket list, and hopefully we get to do it again, maybe. Getting all pretty old though, so we'll see. So yeah, while I was on that trip, halfway through, I hurt myself from this trick. Yeah, blew out my foot, so my right arch was all bruised up. Could barely walk. Definitely couldn't put them in skates or anything. It was a little gutting and frustrating, to say the least, but it's alright. I smashed a lot of gummies since they're legal over there, and it definitely helped me sleep really well. I'm pretty sure I cracked my ribs because it hurt to sneeze, and yeah, it kind of hurt to laugh hard. Part of the trip. Since then, I've definitely have lost my confidence, but I'm slowly building that back up. Part of that confidence is just landing, especially if I want to do drops or anything like that. Yeah, not only that, because I'm riding the 909 boot, which is it's a snug fit on my feet. I can fit them, but it is snug. And now it's in the back of my mind, what else is going to happen, because it's an injury I've never had before. My ankle was fine, but somehow just those muscles around my arches were just fully bruised. Kind of lost confidence a little bit in my white 909s. Thus is why I have decided to revisit some of my old boots. Now, to my surprise, none of my old skates fit. None of them fit my right foot properly. It puts too much pressure on where it's kind of swollen. What I mean by swollen, it's okay. Here's a picture. My foot is still, it's fine, I can skate it, but my right foot has changed shape. It's now way wider, making my other skates unwearable. Or like, I can put them on, but it just hurts. So it's not worth the pain. Hence why I'm back on the Razor SLs.
started raining, so let's cut the session short. But it's alright. I'm like, it was forecasted to rain today anyway, so pretty stoked. Got a little roll in. First hot take on this first session. Now revisiting the S11s, where the cuff connects to the actual boot, where that cuff bolt is further back compared to what I've been used to skating. So that pivot point is actually just behind where my ankle joint is. Is it a bad thing? Not really. It's just different compared to, say, like the 909s that I've been riding, which is more in line to where my actual ankle joint point is. It feels like when I'm leaning forward more, like crouching ready to jump, or crouching ready to do a jump onto a grind or whatever, it feels a little insecure, as in it's a bit more flexy. Yeah, just not as secure as what I'm used to. Not a bad thing as much, it's just something to get used to. So I find at the moment it's putting it off a little bit, but you know, it doesn't take much to really readjust. Control FL4s, which is the flat frame, which I've decided to skate again. I have skated them once before that came with my shifts, but I think that first initial set I got, yeah, they just weren't made right, because I found they had like a rocker to them, quite a decent rocker, like I was skating a wizard skate, so it was really off-putting for something that was such a short frame base as it is. And yeah, that wheel bite protection is massive, as in it really helps. There was the high curve ledge that I skated for a little bit. I didn't even wax that, and I was getting no wheel bite. Well, I got one wheel bite, one trick, and that was the top acid, but that was just bad form. Got it in the end. Just had to adjust a little bit compared to what I'm used to. I've been skating the 50/50 balance 2 frames for a long time now, basically ever since they came out, and I do love those frames. Yeah, that's the first take. The boot's feeling really good on my feet, which is great. There's no massive pressure points, especially with my right foot, now that it's a new shape. Yeah, it's just a little bit of readjustment, but definitely gonna carry on skating for a bit and see how they go, because they are feeling great, feeling real nice.
The SLs are one of my favorite boots just because they're nice and wide and they just fit my feet well. Now I don't have the widest feet, but I do consider them wide because of how flat they are. The widest point in my feet are where my arches are. They just squish out and makes my feet look like a, I don't know, pregnant goldfish. So back on these, and they seem to fit my feet fine. No major pressure points on those arches or where my foot has changed shape, which I'm stoked about. The setup I've gone with is I have the grey boot. Now the cuff from this boot I actually... Pickle, get out of the way. Now the grey cuff from this boot, I actually have that on my white 909s because I prefer that flexibleness. Pickle, get out of the way. And I have my Derek Henderson cuffs from my last pair of SLs lying around, so I'll whack them on here. I am also at the same time revisiting the Ground Control FL4 frame, which is a flat frame with wheel bite protection. I'm also rocking the new, wow, wouldn't say new, but the re-release of the Dead Wheels. These are the UFR Edition. They also have another name, I think it's Shuri, which I'm really stoked about with these wheels. I've tried to get the first drop when they first released them to run. Came with like a Japanese like bento box lunch box, but at the time it was going to cost $70 New Zealand just to get them posted over, so that deterred me. But yeah, real stoked to have them again now, just because at the time when they got released was during COVID, early COVID, when that all kind of popped off. Asian hate in America went up something crazy like 400%. Yeah, there was a lot of xenophobia going around because of it all. Like little old ladies were getting like set on fire on the streets. The xenophobia also extended out of America. It wasn't just America. There was violence happening in Aussie. Even here in New Zealand, I'm not 100% sure if there was any violence. But there was definitely a lot of xenophobia, which I saw, and I also copped some, yeah, which I also saw, and also like got, yeah, just verbally attacked, I guess, with, it was pretty gnarly. It was a gnarly time. So it was real cool that Dead Wheels released something, and then part of the profits went into the campaigns to stop that. So yeah, these wheels, this particular edition actually means a lot to me. If you haven't noticed, I'm Asian myself, Chinese descent. So yeah, it was a very big thing for me. Anyway, enough of that. Won't stop, it's just not stop. Won't stop, it's just not stop. Also have put in my Intuition liners from the UFR. Whack these in here just because I sold my rain liners recently, thinking that I wouldn't be ever using them again. And yeah, the Intuition's fine. I've got like a few pairs of them. They're just sitting around, so at least the rain liners went to a good home. It's one of the homies down south. What I do love about the SLs is, well, I mean, like, I don't know what plastics they use for their sole plate, but they're just so fast. The ground control Featherlight 4s, super fast as well, to the point where you kind of don't even need to wax anything unless it's really grimy and really sticky. But they slide like butter. That backside groove on the sole plates, it's kind of deep, but it works, man. It works. Like back slides, you just lock on and you're away. You're just balanced. That's crazy. I've always enjoyed the Razor cuffs, to the point where I put them on my 909s. I really love the flex. Yeah, they just work well. It makes top sides way easier and everything. Also, with the sole plate, we'll go back to that. How it's raining again. Winter! I love how the sole plate here in the middle is kind of cut out, making the frame actually close to your feet, giving you a lower ride. The rollerblade blanks are very similar in that way, in that respect. It's pretty much the same kind of deal. So with these frames, it works out perfect. That balance of space with where the H block is and the sole plate, it's just so well balanced. It gives you a very nice angle to grind. I used to skate and create frames on these, and it just made grind so easy, just because the frame was even lower, and since that groove is so deep, you really didn't have to tweak much at all to get boot down. It was pretty much that as opposed to that, you know. Just made everything so easy. Did find though, which I find in most skates really, that my left foot, but that toe, the pinky toe knuckle always has a bit of strain, and there's always a pressure point there. When I looked a bit closer, it was this part of the boot that was concave. So all I really had to do was heat mold that part of the boot, and just stuffed a can and a tennis ball in there to push it out. I don't have a heat gun, but a nice alternative is a hairdryer. Just crank that on the hottest setting, man. Just leave it on there. Don't melt it or anything, but definitely hold it on there for a bit until you can see it's quite soft. Leave the can and whatever you've got in there just to kind of help it mold, and when it sets, it's good to go. purpose of this video was really to get across is it doesn't really matter what brand the boot is. What's important is finding a skate that actually fits your feet well and, well, just doesn't hurt. Something that you can skate to a degree of where you are extremely happy. Now, there are so many brands out there, and just because you're not skating their boot doesn't mean you're not supporting them. There are other ways. You can buy their merch, tees, their wheels, frames, whatever it is that they make. So there are other ways. In the end, as long as you're having a good time on those toys beneath your feet. Yeah, that's my 2 cents. Hope everyone is awesome and doing well. Hope life is going all good for you. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. Stay rad and keep shredding. Peace.
Woo!